Welcome to Skin Talk.
Thanks for watching again.
Yeah, hopefully you're watching again.
Yes.
Hopefully you're watching all the time.
And welcome the new viewers for the first time. You're in for a treat.
Yes, you are. We have actually a really incredible show today. Yes. We have Renee Banks. She is the first runner-up Miss Massachusetts Outstanding Teen. Wait until you see this tall drink of water. She is beautiful, stunning, gorgeous skin.
She could totally be related to you, too.
Vibrant red hair. She's got the red hair.
Yeah. But a beautiful personality.
Absolutely.
Such a mission-driven individual. Yeah. My daughter just admires her too because she wants to be in the pageants. And,
yeah, she's incredible. So she's going to be a phenomenal guest. She's actually going to be talking about her platform, which is melanoma awareness. So it's really exciting.
Yes, yes. And then we have Leanne, and Leanne has a special guest.
I know, I'm so excited.
An amazing woman. Just her story, her triumph, her energy, her positivity. I can't wait to have you guys meet her. We've had the privilege of meeting her, but Leanne has a great segment coming up, so that's going to be something.
Are always great.
I know,
as you know.
I know. She's just so lively, and so you know. So you definitely got to stay tuned for that.
Yeah. So I have some exciting news.
You have an anniversary coming up.
I do.
And I'm not talking about you and Andrew.
Not a romantic anniversary.
But it's a fabulous one.
I am officially 10 years cancer-free. Yay! I know, isn't that crazy? It's so
I wish we had a mimosa or something.
I know, champagne would have been better than water.
Yes.
But yeah, no, 10 years cancer-free. It's really exciting because, as you know, once you hit that 10-year mark, it becomes less likely that you're going to have another diagnosis or that it's going to reoccur. So 10 years is a big one. It's funny because I've been talking to people about it. I've been doing some interviews for it, and everyone's like, how old are you? And I'm like, I know, I had it young.
How old were you again when you had it?
I was 20 when now I have to tell. Now everyone knows I'm 30.
No, but honestly, I thought you found it like when you were 17, 18.
Or that's when you were 19.
Okay, but you were tanning at 17, 18. Okay, that's where. I knew I had 17 in my head for a reason.
Yeah, that's when I started the whole excessive UV exposure habit. So
there's a woman, Darcy Dumaine, who actually reached her 10-year. And she is actually having like an anniversary party.
Oh yeah,
and she's having a huge event, fundraiser to raise money for melanoma awareness, melanoma education, which I think is wonderful.
That's great.
So I have a question for you because obviously I wasn't personally affected by melanoma, but by being with somebody who has, it's a different dynamic, and it still hits you. But I have so many people come to me still like in fear, and still like they don't want to, they're so happy that it's so far removed from them that each year they're okay, another year I'm safe, another year I'm good. But they don't want to forget because they don't want to get too lax where they feel
they're
not
paying attention to it. It's not important.
And they still go to the first, it started off, you go when you first get any kind of cancer, but melanoma obviously every 3 months, and then it sort of tapers down to every 6 months, and then to every year.
I'm at every 6 months for the rest of my life.
Okay,
I get
so that's what I was sort of asking, like with your mindset now that you've wonderfully reached 10 years of melanoma free. How is your mindset? Like
it's still, that I do this. I mean, I'm in the world of melanoma awareness, so for me, it's something that is just. I'm surrounded by it all the time. So my mindset is still, it's so top of mind every day. That's different for people who aren't in this field doing this work all the time. We're doing speeches, we're here, but it's still, I'm still paying attention to my skin, but I'm not fearful. Like, you can't live in fear.
No, because there's a lawyer that we got to know too that had it. And then by his 5th year, it's like, oh, I'm fine. Like his whole attitude was the opposite of that.
Safe.
So so that's for our viewers, like what is a good balance, if you will, of not being too lax, because obviously we're in it, but that's not the average people.
I think seeing your dermatologist on a regular scheduled basis, like I said, I'm every 6 months for the rest of my life, that's going to keep you in the clear. You got to just make sure that you're seeing that dermatologist.
Yeah, so. I agree, and that's what we both advocate. Well, good!
Yay!
So definitely cheer next time.
Cheers, well cheers. And stay tuned, we have a great show coming up for you.
Dear 16-year-old me.
Dear 16-year-old me.
Dear 16-year-old me.
Please don't get that perm. It's not as awesome as you think it's going to be.
You have to actually practice in order to learn to play guitar.
Whiskey tastes even worse on the way up.
Dear 16-year-old me, there's going to be a new set of Star Wars movies. Don't watch them. They ruin everything.
Dear 16-year-old me, this is where they took the cancer out. It was something called melanoma.
It's called malignant melanoma.
Malignant melanoma.
Malignant? That's not a very friendly word.
You'll be diagnosed when you're 28.
18.
36.
29.
22.
It's a tumor that starts in your skin cells, the cells that give your hair and skin color.
It's not just skin cancer.
Well, it is,
Well, it is.
but not just the
Cut it out and it'll be fine kind, unfortunately.
It's the kind that you have to catch before it spreads.
Because it spreads so fast.
So fast.
To places like your liver,
Your lungs.
your brain. Yours will be a really rare kind in your left eye, and that's when you'll find out.
That melanoma can show up on your tongue, the palms of your hands, and the soles of your feet.
Your doctors will tell you you're lucky that you caught it early.
Yours will tell you that you need aggressive treatment.
I'll have to tell you it might take a year of chemotherapy.
And you'll need to do some of the injections yourself.
Dear 16-year-old me,
You're doing okay.
you're strong.
But there are some things I want you to know.
I wish I'd known.
That one bad sunburn before you turn 18.
Doubles your chances of developing melanoma.
That fair skin and red hair means that you're at a higher risk of getting it.
As if ginger people didn't have enough problems.
That you're at higher risk if you've got more than 50 moles.
And if you have a weakened immune system or a family history of skin cancer.
But just once a month, I want you to check.
It takes 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Dear 16-year-old me, I do realize you're not actually going to see this, but someone else will, and it'll make a difference to them.
Dear someone else.
Dear somebody else.
If you're watching this,
Send it to a 16-year-old you care about.
Send it to anyone who was once 16.
Or soon will be 16. Send this.
And check yourself. Educate yourself.
You can download tools and information about melanoma here.
Share this link.
Tweet this link.
Post this to your Facebook.
Welcome back. We have Renee Banks here from West Bridgewater.
I'm not even going to say your title because
You
I'm
tell
going to
us.
get so. Please tell us your title.
Yes, I am the first runner-up to Miss Massachusetts Outstanding Teen.
Wow,
See?
that's
Say that 10
wonderful.
times
I
fast.
know, I can't. No.
That is amazing. That is amazing.
Thank you.
How long have you been doing that?
Well, this is going to be my third year. I competed my first year when I was a freshman, and then I competed last year, and that was when I became the first runner-up. So I'm going back for my third year this year and hoping for the best.
Oh, wow. You will. You definitely have our
Yeah.
vote. And viewers
Thank
out there,
you.
you better vote for her too. But you are here because you have been such a huge supporter and a huge fan of Skin Talk, and for that we thank you so much.
Yeah.
And hearing of your story and the outreach and support that you have been doing with melanoma awareness and education, please share that with us.
Yeah.
Yes, well, my platform for the Miss America's Outstanding Teen organization is called Melanoma Awareness, Educate, Demonstrate, Terminate. And so with that, I am able to promote melanoma awareness to in all different sorts of ways. And one thing that I do is I speak to children about sun safety. And so I have...
What kind of groups have you been able to speak to them?
I spoke to a Boy Scout troop, and I did a story time at the library.
Wow.
And I have some programs scheduled to teach with the Girl Scouts and
How do you think
with the
they
preschool
received
class.
the message?
It was the Boy Scouts especially they were actually learning about cancer in their Boy Scouts during the time, so that was really great because they kind of already knew what I was coming to talk to them about.
Right.
So.
Now, aside from having beautiful fair skin and red hair, which unfortunately makes us more prone
Jeez,
to
do
melanoma,
I feel like
the Italian stepchild. Aside from that, what got you involved? Like, why did you choose melanoma?
Yes, well, in 2008, my grandfather passed away from melanoma, and
Goodness.
thank you. But so I had never learned about melanoma in school. I had no idea. My first time hearing about it was when he passed away, and so I knew that something had to be done. Yes.
Wow, that's incredible. And that's such a point, like you were saying, it's important to note not educated in the school systems. I mean, but let me guess, you were educated about everything else, I'm sure, right? Not to smoke or drink and safe sex and all those things, but no safe skin education. We always say that on the show.
Yeah. Now, how was it in your school? Was or the friends that you hung out with, was the thing to do was to tan? Because I know in your,
Yes,
time,
absolutely.
I don't know, error.
In my time? How old am I, for God's sake? Back in your day, when Abraham Lincoln was president.
I should talk because I'm probably like double your age.
I'm so
But
old.
you know what I mean? So in school, what is the thing? Like,
Yeah,
is
what's the culture?
is it popular to
Yeah.
be tan and be influenced to be tan? Because you and Megan are the same, from the same
Cut from the same
seed,
cloth.
exactly.
Yeah.
So do you get that pressure of wanting to be tan, or does being in the pageants sort of help you keep balance to not want to tan?
Well, in school, lots of people tan, especially because it's junior year and prom is coming up, and so they find it so necessary to be tan. But I personally don't find much pressure in it. I don't think that you have to be tan to be attractive or
That's
anything.
great. So do you ever try to
Thank
have
you.
the conversation? Do you have any friends who maybe have used the tanning booth and you go in and say,
Because that's
hello,
your thing.
my platform is melanoma?
A lot of people talk about, oh, I need to go tanning for prom, and I always say you should just get a spray tan or something.
And don't they realize, like, my biggest thing, if it's not so much even tanning your skin, but it's like it's like smoking. It's like anything. Like, you do it a few times, it's gonna hit you.
Yeah.
A few years down the road.
Kids don't think about that, do
Oh
they?
no,
No,
not
that's
at all.
probably not what's the forefront. I
No.
mean, obviously, we didn't think about that either.
Right.
But now that I'm double the age of you, and you look in the mirror. No, not double, but I'm teasing. But you think about that now when you're older.
Right.
But it's so damaging. It's
I know.
so damaging to the skin. Well, it's just like talking to a smoker. It's like you can't convince them to stop smoking, realizing that they
Right.
could get cancer or such. So
I feel like it's
Yeah.
different though for smoking versus tanning, because tanning is more of a vanity thing.
Right, yeah.
Right? So people think they feel like they look thinner and healthier.
Yeah.
And it's so
Yeah,
incredible.
people just think they look better with a tan.
Don't they look at
So.
you and say, she's beautiful and she's got fair skin?
Thank you.
But it's hard,
pale is
I'm
the
sure.
new tan.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Of
Pale is the new
course.
tan. I love that.
you like that?
No, that's incredible.
So that's why I just sort of try to get the mindset of, because obviously not being in the the school systems anymore, sort of what goes through their minds, and we speak in them, but it's different when we go in
Right.
and talk to students.
Right.
Some of them are just very bold, some of them are shy, some of them have that guilt, but they're not. It's not like we're their peers. So it's a
Right.
different take when you have somebody who's in with them. What's their take and what's their feel on it. So when you lost your grandfather, how old were you?
I was in 6th grade,
So how did you feel? Because obviously you said that you did not know of melanoma up until that point. What was going through your head at that young age?
I honestly don't even think I knew what was going on because I didn't know what melanoma was, and I don't even think I remember knowing how he died, except it was just cancer. And
Right.
so after that, when I found out it was melanoma, and especially when I found out how preventable it is, that really gave me a lot of motivation to spread awareness of it.
That's the thing about melanoma, is it's so easily preventable, and if it's caught early enough, it's curable. And so
Right.
it's hard to, be able to translate that message to people, because I'm sure, do you find that a lot of teens just think, oh, it's not going to happen to me?
Right, they think that when they're old and 65 years old, that's when they're going to get it, but
Right.
it's not true anymore.
Is that the same for other behaviors as well, like drinking or smoking, or do you see that with other behaviors?
Yeah, they always think that, oh, I'm so young, I can do whatever I want,
You're
and I'll be
invincible.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah, they do. I think we all feel like we're invincible. Like,
Well, I
Yeah.
certainly
nowadays I
did.
fall and I'm like, oh no,
My back.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's gonna set me back a week.
Oh my goodness.
You
Now, in terms of the pageant stuff, how did you get up the courage to do that? Because that's got to be a little bit of pressure to get up on a stage in front of everyone.
Yeah, well, I used to be so shy when I was younger, and dance kind of brought me out of my shell. I joined the competition team, and it gave me a lot more confidence.
Is that your talent?
Yes,
Dance?
I
Oh,
tap
wonderful.
dance.
Oh,
Yes.
Did we get to see a little show
I
after?
don't know. I don't
us
have
a
my
little-
tap shoes
Yeah.
with me.
Next show, stay tuned. Renee Banks will be performing
Perform live.
as she's getting
Yeah.
crowned.
So that dance helped you overcome the insecurity of being on
Yeah,
stage.
in my first year competing in Miss Massachusetts Outstanding Teen, I still was pretty shy, and then it wasn't until last year that I really just broke out of my shell and
Right.
I blossomed.
And you even got the
Impressive.
opportunity to meet Miss America.
Yeah,
And Miss America of What
state?
She's from New York. I went to Miss America's Outstanding Teen. I did a training program down there, and she was there, and I caught her on like the way to dinner or something, and I found her. I was like, I need a picture.
To approach her to do that. So
That's
that's awesome. I mean, and not only to do that and to get you out of shell, but I know that, you know, talking about melanoma in itself is a very sensitive subject. You know, so
especially among this age group.
Yeah.
Because of the vanity issues.
Yes.
You can almost feel like you're attacking your friends, right?
Yeah.
When you bring it up. I mean, even when I was diagnosed in college, and when I came back from the surgery, having that conversation with my college friends to be like, we have to wear sunscreen, we have to get an umbrella when we go to the beach. They almost felt like, oh, stop.
And you were probably
preachy.
at that point so impacted by it, because I think when people first get diagnosed by it, they bubble themselves, and it's like, oh,
right.
son, and you know,
Exactly.
they don't have, you know, it's hard to have a balance because it's just so traumatic as to what happens.
Right.
So any of your friends would be like, ah, you're crazy.
Do they ever think you're being preachy? Do they kind of roll their eyes at you?
Sometimes. I've scared a few of them, so.
Good. That's good.
I always say kiddingly, let's see who I can make pass out today. Because I always make someone pass out because I talk about my drainage tubes. That's funny.
A little bit of healthy fear never hurts.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit of healthy fear.
Well, it was so wonderful having
Thank
you.
you for having
have something
me.
for you.
Don't have to open it now.
A little
Do
parting
have a
gift.
little
Thank
parting
you.
gift that we give to all of our guests.
Thank you.
So.
But it was an honor to have you.
Thank you
your
for having
story,
me.
your mission is
Very
very
inspirational.
inspirational, extremely
you.
so. And you know, our viewers out there, take note. You know, anybody, you know, could stand up there and make a fight to be more of our warrior and be a part of our team.
Yes.
But we have Leanne coming up
Yes,
with
she
a
had a great
great
segment.
guest. So don't go anywhere. You can't miss this segment. We'll be right back. The power that one person has to impact the world is immensely impressive and can change our lives forever. Impact the world. Talk about melanoma. Get educated.
Help us create this change. Join our fight to save lives from melanoma. Visit us at skintalk.org.
Welcome back. Renee was amazing.
She was.
I can't say, I think I probably said amazing about 20 times about her
I know,
in
she's
the
awesome.
show.
She was great. But and speaking of awesome, we have Leanne here with her very own special guest. Leanne, what do you have for us today?
Hey ladies. Okay, so with me today I have an amazing guest, Trina Peltier. She's from here locally, and she's going to tell us a little bit about her story because she actually had melanoma. So welcome, Trina. Thank you so much for coming.
It's great to be here.
So tell me a little bit about how you were diagnosed with melanoma.
For me, it was a little bit different. I didn't follow the traditional pattern with the moles and the ABC of moles that you traditionally see with melanoma. I had a lump under my leg. It felt like a little marble. Ooh. It just showed up one day.
Like a cyst almost?
Yeah, they thought it was a cyst. We looked into it with the doctor, you know, that's strange, we'll watch it kind of thing. Over the course of 2011, we kept track of it every couple of months. It did come back. Eventually in October, we had it out. November 18th, I got the call. It was melanoma.
It's a long time.
Because it was subcutaneous at that point, they determined that it had already metastasized and it was stage 3, possibly stage 4.
And you didn't even have a mole.
Never saw one. There could have been at some point a primary, but we've never seen it. We don't know where it was. So it was taken out in November. I did a month of high-dose interferon. We did daily injections at home for a while, as long as I could take it. It does make you quite sick, and at some point I just said, this is enough is enough. At a year point, I decided to go ahead and celebrate and get a tattoo.
I think that's when we first met, was shortly after that.
I think it was, yeah. So I decided to get a big black melanoma ribbon right over my scar.
Own
and
it.
we celebrated that. My mother bought it for me for my birthday. We did it together. Unfortunately, about a year later, I felt a bump again in the same spot. And unfortunately, in order to go ahead and get that bump out, we had to remove the entire tattoo and all of the scar tissue that I had from the previous incision. So they made a much larger scar this time. They did take out quite a bit of muscle. And in order to make sure that that area was clean, you know, we had to go in. And that left me with quite a scar.
Huge. I remember first seeing that when you came to my office and when I was massaging you, and how, like, honestly, ghastly the scar was. It was so
Very
large
long.
compared to what it used to, you know, the original one was.
Right. We needed to really make sure that they get out a good margin around the area and that there's a clean area of skin. So we followed that up with radiation. You go through a process where you work with the surgical oncologist first to take it out, medical oncologist for any type of chemo and that type of thing, and then I did work with the radiologist, radiation oncologist. Luckily, in July of 2013, we completed radiation. In August of 2013, I was lucky enough to get into a clinical trial at Dana-Farber.
That's so exciting. I think you, me, and all of your friends were like, they could probably hear us in Western Mass, like just cheering for you.
Dana-Farber has been nothing but miraculous for me. I've had extreme results. The cancer is shown to be shrinking and decreasing.
That's so
I've had
exciting.
nothing but miraculous results. So it's been an absolute blessing. I have had some side effects that I've had to deal with, and if that's the worst that I have, then I'm a very lucky girl.
You'll deal with side effects for the rest of your life if it means you're clear.
I will be happy to. So the cancer is not gone at this point. There is still some cancer in distant areas throughout my body, but they are shown to be shrinking, decreasing, and I've had no new growth in the last 4 months.
I'm so excited.
So it's very exciting, and I will continue to work with them as I go. So there's no reason to expect that I can't get rid of it.
That's great. Well, part of having you here today is because I always talk about natural skincare, and so we want to talk about the scar and some of the things that you did at home and what other people, our guests and our audience, can do at home. Is use some grapeseed oil because it has a high content of linoleic acid, which helps with the restructuring of the cell membrane. So it's really great for skin, and that's what we use in the office for massage oil. And then you can also use coconut oil. It's a medium fatty acid that is amazing for skin.
You hear everybody talking about coconut oil right now, right?
Exactly. But it's like $15 for a jar, and it doesn't go that far. So here's a way at home. You're going to put it into a mix-in, like your KitchenAid mixer, and put a little bit of grapeseed oil, maybe like a tablespoon to a cup of coconut oil. Add like half a teaspoon of cornstarch, and then just whip it. And it will whip up into this nice frothy meringue almost, and you can keep it in your fridge, and you can apply that to your body.
And that's what you used on me in the office?
It is.
That's fantastic.
So thank you so much for being on the show. We have a little present for you.
Thank you so much.
Gift.
Look at my skin talk bag.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Trina. And that's going to go back to you, Deb and Megan.
Thank you so much, Trina and Leanne. What a phenomenal story.
Yeah.
And as usual, Leanne, incredible tips. So,
I mean, yeah, you were so courageous. I mean, you just
very
kudos
inspirational.
To you. Yeah,
very
inspirational.
Stay strong.
Definitely. And as always, Leanne is bubbly and wonderful.
Rock star, that's what I always say.
Yes. It almost looks like you want to eat that. Looks like whipped cream.
I know, seriously. Stay tuned. We have more Skin Talk coming up next.
Hi, I'm Renee Banks, the first runner-up to Miss Massachusetts Outstanding Teen, and hopefully the next Miss America's Outstanding Teen. I take a lot of pride in skin safety, not just because I am involved in the Miss America's Outstanding Teen organization, and healthy and beautiful skin means everything in a pageant, but because my grandfather passed away from melanoma. And my mission is melanoma awareness.
Hey, where's Renee?
I think she's doing a PSA on the set.
Oh, let's go check it out.
All right.
You must know my good friends from Skin Talk.
Hey, beautiful.
Hey, what are you up to?
I was just talking about you ladies because thanks to you, I am able to spread my own personal melanoma outreach.
And I know what that is. To educate.
And to demonstrate.
And terminate melanoma. So keep watching Skin Talk.
Well, welcome back. I tell you, Renee was amazing.
I know, isn't she
Leanne's
beautiful?
segment was, oh my goodness.
Leanne's segment was really helpful for me because as someone who has to continue to get moles removed, learning about what you can do at home to help with the scar tissue and healing and all that, that's really helpful.
Yeah, and I was just so taken back by Renee because of the fact here she is just such a young, beautiful woman.
So mature for her age,
Oh my
too.
goodness.
Incredible.
Oh my
I was
goodness.
not like that when I was her age.
Oh no, I didn't even know what was going on in life at that point. But she has so much going for her between the pageants and the loss of her, grandfather. I mean, I had lost my dad. I had some, deaths when I was young.
Right.
But to take on this mission that she has
it's very
was
powerful.
really, so we are so blessed with the people that we have a part of the show.
I know.
Being, warriors with us.
Yes.
So,
yeah, speaking of warriors, we have a great viewer email.
Yes, we do. I won't read the whole thing because it's quite lengthy, but her name is Alicia Bowling. and she loves the show. And
Love
she's
that.
actually from the South. I'm not sure what part, I don't know if it's South Carolina or somewhere, but it's nice to know that our viewers are so
It's all over the
extensive
place,
and all
yeah.
over. Yeah, so please keep watching. And emails, keep sending them in.
Yep.
But she was first diagnosed with stage 3 melanoma in 2006, just a few months after her 24th birthday, and 6 months after the birth of her baby girl. So she said she endured a year of high-dose Interferon, and I went to have another pregnancy after the birth of my baby boy, and I developed 2 more melanomas, primary tumors. One was stage 1, and the second melanoma was stage 2 and very thick.
Awful.
She's currently 31 years old and has been NAD for 3 years.
Wow.
She follows up at Vanderbilt Ingram Cancer Center every 6 months and sees the dermatologist every 3 months due to her dysplastic Nevus syndrome and multiple melanomas diagnosis.
Wow.
So she just wanted to reach out and say that, you know, with all of this going on, she is a true believer in fundraising, and she wanted to do something for melanoma, so she started running.
Wow.
And knowing that I'm, you know, a big runner,
the big runner
and big part of the New York City Marathon, she did want to, you know, see if she could be part of the New York City Marathon.
Wow.
But she wanted to support our show.
That's wonderful.
So she says that so far she has completed the Tough Mudder. I know, that's your thing, exactly. And that she ran her first half marathon this past November, and that she signed up for her second half marathon. And she's been, I've been, you know, looking for an opportunity to raise more melanoma awareness and more melanoma education. And she's just a huge fan of the show, and that she feels that she wants to spread the word about who we are and what we do. And she calls, you know, or she referred to it as the warriors against melanoma.
So true.
So I think that is
So
beautiful. Alicia, thank you so much for your story, for your kind words, for your encouragement and support. So yes, we are definitely the warriors with you.
Yeah, we love it. And there was another email that actually came in from a viewer that I kind of deferred to you. This individual was asking when they should start bringing their children to the dermatologist.
Yeah. Yes, I remember that, because she had said in the email that she does bring her children to the pediatrician.
Right.
Because I have a 9-year-old, an 8-year-old now, and a 6-year-old, and we would just bring them, you know, for their annual visits, or, you know, maybe sometimes twice a year, but normally the thing isn't to bring them to a dermatologist, unless they have, like, my
it's supposed to be puberty,
eczema or certain things for a specific thing, but not for melanoma per se. So my advice to her was that you bring them to the dermatologist once a year from the time that they're 1 year old, you know, and start, because they start getting moles and stuff appear everywhere. I'm not saying be dramatic and take them off, but if you go to the dermatologist once a year with them, you're going anyway, and they're going to the pediatrician, it never hurts. So
you can never be too careful.
And with my past experience with my daughter, safe than sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. So keep those emails coming. We'd love to hear from you folks. And don't forget, you can also follow us on social media. We're on Facebook and Twitter.
Yep. So keep watching. Support Skin Talk.
As usual, Skin Talk wants to thank our wonderful stylist at It's All About Me.
Yes. And we would also like to give a great thank you and appreciation for Wilbraham Flowers for always supplying us with beauteous, smelling and looking flowers. Thank you so much for your support.
Everyone.